Please welcome to the stage the Ushindi Performance Troupe.
All right. I am not the Ushindi Performance Troupe. I know. But I know, right? You've noticed I am a singular individual. All right, so this is what's happening. My name is Joseph Green. I am the Youth Programs Coordinator for Split This Rock. Make some noise. Split This Rock is a nonprofit organization standing at the crossroads of poetry and social justice. And that is what you are going to get tonight. Poetry and social justice, and then some poetry, and then just some social justice, and then every once in a while we will put it together and we will shake it and we will give it to you, and it will be amazing. Quick show of hands. How many people in this audience have ever been to a poetry reading or poetry slam or an open mic? Show of hands. Okay, awesome. There are quite a few people who have not, so there are a couple of things that you need to understand about what's going to happen here today. I imagine that most times at the Kennedy Center, it's like, you know, the curtain, figurative curtain, will go up, and then there will be a presentation, and there's not a lot of back and forth between the audience and the performers on stage. This is not that, all right? We encourage, we require, we appreciate the interaction between the audience and the poet on stage. Now, this can happen in quite a few ways. I'm going to give you a couple of examples. If you enjoy something that you hear on stage, a poet is saying a poem, and you hear a particular line that you find to be clever or speaks directly to a truth that you hold near and dear to you, you can snap. Can everybody in the audience snap real quick? There it is. If you're not snapping, I can see you. Don't be that guy. Let's participate, folks. Let's have fun. If you hear something, you can say word. Everybody say word. Word. I'm going to need y'all to say it with enthusiasm. Everybody say word. Word. There it is. You can make that sound you make when you have a delicious piece of chocolate. You see, you know what it is. Everybody go, mmm. Yes, all right. Instantly makes everything sound profound. And my favorite thing, invented by Amin Drew Law, you can take the word she, and you can take the word Jesus. And if you feel something that makes you particularly holy in the moment, you can squish them together and you can say, Jesus. All right, on the count of three, I'm going to need you to say Jesus with your chest, all right? 1, 2, 3. Jesus. All right, awesome. Now you are prepared. What we're going to do real quick to make sure that you are prepared, I'm going to say a poetic line, right? It's not going to be particularly profound. In fact, it's going to be awful. But I want you to pick your favorite response, and I want you to say it back to me, and I want you to see how well this works. It's magic. All right, here's the line. Here it goes. This morning, I went to the gym. Top five dead or alive. And if you don't particularly feel comfortable getting vocal, you can do the awkward giraffe, all right, which looks like this. Look around you, you see somebody in the audience, you hear something, it's just like, I don't even know how to respond. This is that. And lean, all right? All right. Other things you need to know. Every performer that comes onto the stage needs to be greeted with a lot of enthusiasm. All right? I want you to applaud for these performers as if this was the most important time in our history for young people to be able to have spaces like this to express themselves and get their message out to the world. I need you to applaud like we need to fight harder than we've ever fought to make sure that these spaces are protected. And I need you to applaud like these voices have the power to actually change the world. That's how I need you to clap, all right? On the count of three, make some noise. 1, 2, 3. Make some noise, Kennedy Center. Yes. Yes. For every poet that comes on stage. So, the Ushindi Performance Group, Tribe, yes, we just changed the name 10 minutes ago, is an invention of Split This Rock. Split This Rock has amazing youth programs, all right? And we've had a lot of our youth program members graduate to the real world. And we wanted to create an opportunity for them to learn how to become professional performers, professional teaching artists, while at the same time earning a little bit of money and seeing what it was like in this space. Because a lot of times, most of us who came before them just had to make all of this up. So that's what the Ushindi Performance Troupe is. It is an apprenticeship program sponsored by Split This Rock. And if you want to know more information about Split This Rock, that's the name right there. You can find us on all the social medias. If you're ready for your first performer, say yeah. Yeah. If you're ready for your first performer, say hell yeah. Hell yeah. Coming up to the stage, please put your hands together for the one, the only, Lauren May.
Hey everybody. My name is Lauren May, and I'm here to do some poems. Well, a poem. But before the poem, I want to speak some social justice type stuff into existence. I was at the Women's March the other day, and I want to remind everybody that feminism is for everybody. And that means queer women, that means women of color, and that means trans women. And I hope every woman that was there will show up to the next Black Lives Matter March. We are all human, so rights belong to each and every one of us. These times are troubling in the kingdom. So it's important that we direct and focus all of our energy into something positive so that we can make change, because this is the world that we live in. So if you want to see a better world, then you need to help create it. So that's what I hope this poem does. Yeah, I'm just going to get right into it and stop being awkward. My mother has expensive taste. She cries by pretending to be an interior designer. I died last night. You can guess who bought a lampshade. You know, she says she is happy, which is true. My mother is I'm actually very unhappy, so I'll make myself believe that I'm not so that it won't show kind of happy, that I can't show you I'm weak right now happy. You see, my grandfather was a tornado of reckless fists and emotion. My grandmother, weather-beaten and broken long before his storm. You know, my taste is much less expensive. I cry by binge-eating French fries. She died last night, and you can guess who ate more. I want to wave a decorative white flag and say, Mommy, you know, I'm just as much a wasteland as you. I'm ready to clean myself up and live outside of my depression, but you know I can't without your help. But I imagine her responding by decorating my bathroom, as if each new towel and soap dispenser can wipe away 20 years of mess in my mind. I tell us that it's okay to not be okay, that depression isn't a broken bone you can put a Band-Aid on hoping that the pain goes away. It is a sick child that would never get better unless you nurse them back to health, that the road to recovery isn't always easy but always necessary. But you know, we ignore me. She continues to buy lampshades and pillows, and I will continue to eat. Thank you.
I think that's very interesting. You know, we came up here talking about social justice, and she came up and did a poem about mental health. And I think a lot of people, when we've done that poem, have asked the question, how does that necessarily fit? And I think that self-care, first and foremost, especially for people who are out there trying to make the world a better place, is an extraordinarily important thing. But more important than that is the realization that mental health affects all communities. And the more people who look like you express that, the easier it is for other people out there to go and seek help and try to make their communities a better place by first making their temple a better place. So one more time for your first poet of the night, Lauren. And if you haven't noticed, there's a really handsome young man behind me. He's got fabulous hair. He is spinning the tunes. Please put your hands together for DJ Plot Twist. Okay, that was your show off.
I just play the songs, y'all.
He just plays the song. All right. So, in between being introduced to members of the Ushindi performance tribe, there it is, there are other members of the Split This Rock family that have blessed us with their presence today. We have an amazing group of teaching artists that work in high schools throughout the city. This next young man, I'll call him, has been working with us for the entirety of the Louder Than a Bomb program that we have, and I will tell you more about that and our partnership with the Kennedy Center this year a little later in the show. But I am so excited that y'all who have never heard this man spit before get to hear him do a poem for you right now. I need you to start clapping right now for your next poet, Amin the Lord.
Hello, human people. How are you guys doing today? Just got to see Lauren May perform. Lauren May is one of my favorite people in the whole world. Some of my favorite people in the whole world are sitting right over there. And also some of my favorite people that I've never met before are sitting all over this stage, all over in front of me right now. And just real quickly, to follow what Joseph said about mental health and about sexuality and about gender and about age and about race and culture and religion. All these things are intersections, you know, and we have to realize that we never fighting for just one thing. We have to fight for everything, or nothing ever has progress. With that being said, I am sort of a strange background. I was born in a city called Logan, West Virginia. That's usually the response I get when I say Logan, West Virginia. Don't fake it now. And it's interesting because my dad is Palestinian and Egyptian, and my mom is just from West Virginia. So that was sort of my upbringing, eating biscuits and gravy in the morning and hummus and falafel at night. So this is a poem about the discovery of culture and the discovery of who you are as a person, the journey that we all take and are continuing to take as we go throughout our human lives. I sound so profound right now. Cool. I'm ready for this. I hope you guys are ready for this. It's going to be a wonderful night. Very glad to be here. Here's a poem. The thing that I do when I step back for a second, this, Paige just taught me how to do that. You just step back one time and then you do the poem. People think, oh, he's gathering himself. Yeah. Super important. My name is Amin, but everyone calls me Drew. Amin, it means honest. Nobody calls me Amin. I'm often asked why I don't go by my given name. My answer, usually clumsy and underwhelming, a sort of snowball made of desert sand. In 2008, 2 years after my father passed away, I went to visit his family in Jordan. I saw some of them like Hiba and Dalia and Naida and Naila for the very first time, and they, very interested in this new moniker of Drew I was going by. Who is Drew? Where is he from? He's not getting any of my tabbouleh. My laugh after that is always a little too awkward. One morning, I went to the grocery store with my grandfather, a proud man who shares my first name but wears his like the Kuwaiti war medals he keeps on the top shelf next to his Quran. Before we entered the store, he slipped a Palestinian flag into my back pocket. And as we picked over figs in the produce section, a man saw the flag and asked me if I was Palestinian. Amriki, shway Arabiya. There goes that awkward laugh again. When I got home, my grandfather pulled me to the side, looked at me in a way that only military men can, and said, "You, Amin, are the son of my son, the bearer of my first name. You are Palestinian, so welcome to Palestine. Sometimes we bury our children here, where the light at the end of the tunnel is a checkpoint, where we have no statues, no land to bury them on. I will not lie to you. Some of our people would rather avenge their fathers than raise their sons. We are clumped and uneven like the soil we wish to have back. There will be other people that will mock you and say they have stolen your holy land. But Amin, it is called holy land. If God is inside all of us and we walk with our souls, then truly all the ground we touch is holy. I pray for the morning I wake up and nobody has a war story. All of my medals have been turned to dust. This is for my grandfather, who died earlier this year and will never hear this poem. For my great-grandmother, who would speak to me for hours knowing I did not understand a lick of Arabic. And all of my cousins, who only know me by my grandfather's name. So this is my coming out party. Hi, my name is Amin Andrew Amjad Dalal, named after both of my grandfathers, holding up my family tree like an iron hammock. I know my flesh is of a half-breed, but my soul is a man from Nablus to the West Bank backbone and a craving for cooked yogurt and pine nuts. I know now that your language is mine. Your pain is mine, and your fight is mine. So to the man in the grocery store, I am Palestinian, and my name is Amin. It means honest. You can call me Amin. Thank you.
That's only 2 poets. We've only seen 2 poets. We have 8 more poets. I hope that you are here, that you are focused, that you are excited, that your minds and brains and hearts and all the things that can be open for beautiful change are ready to accept it, because we have a lot more amazing poetry for you. Coming up next to the stage, please put your hands together for Ushindi Performance Tribe member, Eric ELPJ Powell.
Sweetness of a honeycomb tree, and now I look what's taking over me. Couldn't fake it if I wanted to.
This mic tried to fall on me, but y'all saw it. Peace, everybody. How y'all feeling out there? Y'all feeling good? That's what's up. That's what's up. Like Joseph said, my name is Eric Powell. I come in the name of ELPJ. It stands for my full name, Eric Lamont Powell Jr., but it also stands for different principles and ideas I stand for, like excellence, love, peace, and justice, and things of that nature. So, yeah, there was a line in that last piece that Amin just spit. It was something along the lines of, I don't want to butcher the line, but it was something along the lines of, some men would rather avenge their fathers than raise their sons. And he was speaking on that specifically in the context of the Palestinian struggle against Israeli apartheid and oppression, right? Solidarity with Palestine, for one. 2, I think that line, when I heard that, it really resonated with me, and I feel like it, vibes with the piece that I'm about to perform for y'all now, in the context of black people in this country, in the Western Hemisphere generally, who descended from Africans who were brought here and made into slaves over the past 400, 500 years. It's called Ode to the Farmers, and it's in tribute to black men who strive to do their best to raise their seeds and raise their communities. So this is what it speaks to. They say black man don't raise no black boys, don't raise no black girls, plant seeds only to leave them to the cultivation of the earth and the tending of crows, offering little to no sunlight and maybe a stream of care that eventually goes dry, but they lie. See, I know they lie, because a black man raised this me of a black boy from the moment I was placed in the soil. My father has been one of the wisest of farmers, using the sunlight of precise knowledge, flows of hip-hop, and support of fertile grounds to supply me with the nutrients needed for proper growth. Hey, yo, here's a fun fact. Scientists say those who talk to their plants help them gain an extra inch or so above others. In addition to blessing me with the essentials, my pop spoke with me to water my mental. His past resembling my future. His mistakes advising my choices. His pain embodying forewarnings. His wisdom adding on to my understanding. Thanks to him, I know what traps to look for. I know what to do and what not to. I know where I come from and I know where I must go. I know myself, and I've grown from a seedling full of potential into a tree of knowledge that understands it is still growing, ever evolving, reaching for new heights with my branches expanding. And he is still there, helping to keep me on the path to fulfillment when the wind of my wayward forgetfulness blows me off it. But some have the nerve to say, black man not built to be a father, only a hustler of hearts, thief of hope, killer of kids' future. See, they've even tried to criminalize our standing in the family structure, pulling us up by the roots so we get disconnected from the great line of men we come from, arresting our manhood, slamming it against the hard concrete of systemic racism until it becomes a battered Rodney King of his prior appearance, then locking us behind the bars of stereotypical visuals molded by the same society that birthed the problem, leaving us to rot and decay due to a complete hatred of ourselves. See, the reason they say black man don't raise no black boys is because to them, black man never existed. All they ever chose to see was black boy, then called black man, black boy for so many centuries. Some of these men believe that's what they are now. Boys, eternally stripped of their manhood, internally stripped of their manhood. You crows knew you'd never give them a chance to grow from the very start. See, I know. And I can trace the lineage of black daddy issues by the blood left on the cotton fields. Clever crow. Evil crow. I know how you tar and feather black man with the objective of making him look just like you, presenting to others the illusion that he could fly. And when he couldn't, you tie his wings to horses and let them rip the image of a strong black man apart right in front of black woman and child. You thought that by embedding the fear of you into their hearts, you could make it hereditary to be submissive to your will. And it worked. Because of this, the earth became a rock. Slowly took on a stone-cold independence to farm a black man, forgetting that she depends on him as he depends on her. You would flock to her fields, extracting this mentality and pecking into the foundation of her memory. The farmer black man was weak, could not protect his crops, could not even protect his field. Not only did she come to believe it, so did the seeds resting in her belly, waiting to penetrate the surface. Future generations have come and gone, and false notions of manhood with them, plaguing the thoughts of both male and female. And now is division. It's just what the crows wanted. Some seeds don't grow to their fullest potential any longer, and so when it's time for them to become farmers, it's much harder. See, it's true. Some men do abandon their seeds, ignorant of what's required of them after they have planted something as precious as their own flesh and blood. Some men try to raise their seeds, but sadly don't succeed. I can understand when the crows of poverty, legality, courts, and prison circle head over and swoop down to eat away at their willpower. You can't blame them when they're genuinely trying. When some women make it impossible for them to care for what they have planted, can you blame them for not attending? But then, you have the men who, against all odds society has placed against them, do raise their seeds. Many times the seeds of others. These are the farmers, the cultivators, the leaders, the mentors, the uncles, the brothers, the fathers, the kings, the gods. And I salute them for their tillage. I salute them for their dedication to the children. I salute them for their dedication to the women. I salute them for showing those crows that black fatherhood is no oxymoron, but quite to the contrary. The black man can raise nations. Peace, y'all.
Man and woman get down. Man and woman be patrolling the earth, putting shit in the game.
You gotta let it marinate for a second. That is a profound piece. I've never heard that poem before. And I've heard a lot of their poems. Thank you for sharing that. And please, bear witness to what you saw here today. Clap one more time for my man, ELPJ. People are so quick to speak up and say what they see happening that's going wrong. And they hesitate for some reason to share when they see something powerful, something positive happening, as if like that's poison, if that's the thing that's going to make them seem, I don't know. I don't know why we are so quick to talk negative about people and to share negative images of people, but I want y'all to run tell them what you saw here today. Right? These amazing young people coming up here, sharing their own words and their own thoughts. And you don't have to agree with all of it. But every time you hear somebody say, man, teenagers don't have anything to say about nothing. Teenagers ain't doing anything for the world. They're self-absorbed. Remember what you heard here today. right? And be the first to go and share about it. I'd like to take a moment real quick. This is a big deal for us, right? We perform all over the country, but like being here, having the Kennedy Center open their doors to us to validate what we do by giving us this stage to perform. I want to give a very loud round of applause for the Millennium Stage team that allowed us to be here today. We sincerely appreciate you, and we hope you are all enjoying the show. Coming up next, keep your claps going for our next performer, teaching artist and Spit This Rock family, Brandon!
Peace, y'all. I said, peace, y'all. Cool. I got issues, so I need people to verbally respond to me. Real quick, shout out to Split This Rock for just engaging the youth and having these youth programs for them, you know what I'm saying? So just, okay, I'm gonna make it quick. I was on a DCU Slam team. It was a completely different hand. Split This Rock took it, and now it's amazing. And I wish Split This Rock had it when I was on a DCU Slam team. Yeah, I don't care how it sounds. It's the truth. So that has changed significantly. What hasn't changed is the subject matter that I'm about to touch on. Police brutality, people getting killed by cops. Stop being weird. I'm gonna do this poem. If y'all still with me, say word. If y'all still with me, say word. All right, awesome sauce. We're gonna begin with a haiku. Out in the streets, they call it murder, but in court, they call it manslaughter. They shooting. We dying. They lying. Mama crying. The pandering and excuses and free passes keep multiplying. Sisters, brothers are angry. Friends are too. 3, 2, 1, clear. He dead. She dying. They flying in heaven. 7-Eleven be pit stop before pearly gates. Pearly teeth. Cold skin, coiled hair be plastered on obituaries and newspapers and t-shirts and hoodies. These hoodies be bull's eyes for target practice. These crooked cops get off like this be brazers. This here wet dreams for murderers, for terrorists. This ain't September, so no one really cares. It continues. Us dying, our destiny live docile, no voice is allowed, they shooting. I'm scared to stand up, stand out, speak up, speak out, they shooting. I'm scared to die, be killed, made martyr, made hashtag. It's harder living here in America, being person of color, African American, black, Negro, nigger, nigga, I'm human. I matter. We matter. They disagree. They shooting. He dying. They shooting. She dead. I could be next. They shooting. We dying. They shooting. We dying. This cycle keeps repeating, keeps repeating, keeps repeating. When does it stop?
Black Lives Matter. DJ Plot Twist, do you agree? You have a microphone, man. We were supposed to have witty banner back and forth.
Oh.
Right? Now, this is not like light-hearted banner, what I'm about to say, but like, you agree with me, like Black Lives Matter, right?
I concur.
Not matter more.
Very
not more
passionately.
than just matter, right?
I would like for Black lives to
matter,
continue
right?
To, you know what I'm saying?
I think Black Lives Matter.
I think I dig it.
And I love it when poets get out here and they share that opinion. And if you agree, Lauren said something at the beginning. I was seeing all of like the really cool signs at the Women's March, and my favorite sign was, "I hope that all you nice white ladies will be at the next Black Lives Matter march." And don't take offense to that. If that makes you coil up, please uncoil. Because all we're saying is Black Lives Matter.
They do.
Right? You can clap for it
Real
if you
hard.
believe it. It's okay. No one's looking to your left or your right. Just show the world you believe. All right. So Brandon brought up something that's kind of one of the most important programs that we have at Split This Rock. It's the DCU Slam team. 3 stars. Hey. Oh, it still lives. It still lives and it's still strong. Every year we hold slams throughout the community, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia, where young people compete for an opportunity to be on the DCU Slam team, where they represent D.C. at the Brave New Voices competition that happens in a different city every year. This year, the competition is in the Bay Area, and we have our semifinals coming up and our finals coming up in March. If you want to know more about that, you want to see young people perform amazing feats of poetry, but more importantly, you want to support them and let them know that their voice matters, please follow us online and come to our shows. 95% of our shows are free, just like this one. We just need your bodies in the audience. All right, speaking of the DCU Slam team, coming up next to the stage, one of our most illustrious alumni, please put your hands together for the poetry of Morgan Butler. Get louder, people, get louder.
And when it's time to pop, they had no shit. Yeah, I'm pretty, but I'm loco. The loud got me moving slow-mo. Hey, yo, Tweety, what up?
Okay. Hey, y'all. I'm Momo. Yeah, I'm an alum of the DCU Slam team, Shaka Zune and all that good stuff. Before I start my poem, which does not have a title, I would just like to say that it is for all of the women and femmes in the audience. May you continue to be joyous and resilient, and just know that every day that you are alive is an act of resistance in itself. Paige just taught me this too. I'm the daughter of a dragon lady, a real fire spitter, earth splitter. I came straight out of God's hips. And my father, he wasn't ready for all that holy shoot. No man has ever been ready for all of this holy. I come from beast women, witch women, butch women, women who sometimes call themselves men, women who sometimes call themselves both, women who are sometimes neither. I come from women who do whatever they want, who know the difference between kneeling by choice and kneeling by force, from having to be slapped into submission. But I don't come from submissive women. I come from brick women, stone women, Medusa, MILF, magic, and mortar. I watched my mama escape a landslide of fists in a house thickened in a blood caked by Generation C. Bruise is to birthmark, as story is to excuse. One can easily be mistaken for the other women, the ones who clench trauma between their teeth, the ones who scream out survivor until their throats are raw, the ones with DNA still rotting under fingernails, the ones with the corpse of abuse buried beneath floorboards, abandoned by fathers who put them there. I come from lone women, lost women, women with no name, and women forced to take one. So to my daughter, who will name herself, know that you come from a bloodline of defiance, machete mavens, and carnivorous cunts. May every tongue that tries to rise against you falter in your presence. I pray that the agency you have over your body is never compromised, and that no is your first and favorite word, and that you're never shamed for your decisions. Allow the earth to quake as you find your footing. You will not be afraid of disaster. In fact, you will welcome it, grab it by its neck, and demand it submit to you. Eye of the storm, acid rain, and gusts of wind, but do not forget joy and harvest and foundation, so that when the fire comes and destroys everything, you can thank God that I raised you to be a phoenix. So when they take note of your soot and your ash, when they ask, where are you from, you can proudly point to the wreckage of women and say them.
Yeah, we got rules. We got rules. If you knew what was coming next, we had to cut it off. That's my favorite thing, man. When they come up and they're a little mild-mannered and they're very respectful and they're adjusting the mic, and then they do the pages, and they come back and it's just flame. Oh my Lord! To see this confidence in young people. People ask me what the favorite part of my job is, and it's that moment. It's every time when you are working in a classroom with a young person and they've been in there for 3 months and they have not said anything, and then one day I don't know what happens in them, but they come up and they just, we'll call it Phoenix. They just Phoenix in front of everybody, and it's such a beautiful thing. That's in my mind I'm seeing like X-Men reference. So if you know what I'm talking about, that's what I'm seeing right there. Coming up next to the stage. This young man is particularly awesome and a friend of mine, and he's awesome not just because he's a friend of mine, but because he's an amazing poet, and he works in the community tirelessly. He has been with Split This Rock since the beginning of the youth programs that we have there, and I think I just want to let him speak for himself. He is the dope at Busboys and Poets, the director of poetry and entertainment. Is that right? Poetry and education, poetry and no, that's an I. I'm going to stop showing you how smart I am and call up the next poet to the stage. Thank you. Please put your hands together for the poetic stylings of the man who taught everybody how to do Pages Matal.
Hermes in it, hey, that's too much sauce. They let me know before I was famous. I had too much sauce.
So much sauce, y'all. So much sauce. How's everybody doing? If you can hear the sound of my voice, clap one time. If you can hear the sound of my voice, clap 2 times. If you're feeling real good, say yeah. Y'all are so beautiful. Thank y'all so much for being here. My name is Pages Matal. I am the director of poetry events for Busboys and Poets. Shout out to the Kennedy Center. Shout out to the DCU Slam team. Shout out to Split This Rock. Busboys and Poets, we have a very, very close friendship and family with Split This Rock, and we support everything that they do, and we thank them for also the support that they give back to Busboys. So make sure y'all come check them out every 3rd Saturday of the month. The Youth Open Mic happens, and there's so many other things that they continuously do all around the community and all around the country. With that being said, I'm gonna do this quick poem. I also have this whole intersectionality of being an immigrant. I was originally born in Cameroon, Central Africa. That's where I was born and raised in, Africans, yeah. It's a thing. It's a thing. And, it's interesting, especially in the current climate. I'll use that word. That's the nicest word I could use right now, in the current climate that we are in, and particularly for people who have the same kind of immigrant experience as I do. It's so important that we retain our language, and that we do not lose the language of our hearts, the language of our people, the language from all of our voices and our souls. And this poem kind of speaks to that. So, word. Johnny Bravo, Dexter's Laboratory, and the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers were some of the best English teachers a Francophone immigrant like me could ever have. Their curriculum riddled in laughter, impossible exploits, and the daunting task of saving the world from the aliens. My accent was also a Saturday morning cartoon. It often riddled others with laughter. Coiling into a language not its own was an impossible exploit. Still, I was trying to transform into something powerful enough to save everyone else from the alien, and the shame that came from being made to feel so different that my accent, my culture, my breath was too unreal and did not deserve to be so animated. Adina Seba, l'anglais lingana titi, moi de na di pas bol par l'anglais. L'anglais n'est que ma 4e langue. English is only my 4th language. It is the baby of the family, the one my mouth spoils, favored by default, who may one day be sold off by its siblings in hopes to never return because all of my other tongues have grown so jealous. In my country, we have over 200 dialects. That's over 200 ways to say love, to say family, to say I belong to something that does not want to kill me, that does not want to siphon the gold from my flesh or the stories from my bones. See, I was a house once full of stories. One for this American dream. The other is me, still trying to translate the catacomb accents of my parents' tongues when they would say, "You have become so American now." What they would mean is, deport all of that tribe from your mouth. You talk like them now. You walk like them now. No more of that Yaoundé Cameroon stuck in my teeth. Now everything tastes like the steps to unbirthing a country, which is to say America has a way of killing everything it comes from. A passport can feel like a smooth stamped death sentence. So I learned early how to fold myself into a flag, stitch myself a newly striped name, a new set of stars. I was able to pass through customs, but my tongue had to stay behind, which is to say, I remember when I was too black for Africans and too African for blacks, but all a meaningless story in America. My name was thick in chemically enhanced amendments. My name was wishing for a white picket flesh while living with Section 8 bones, which is to say that you can be a house, but America has a way of reminding you that you are not a home. You're only the debris, the aftermath, the constant reconstruction, the projects, the illegal. They would say that you don't belong in the country that doesn't even belong to itself. But oh, America, I mean, show us your papers. I mean, who documented your dream? I mean, can the attack dogs still smell the unalienable right from my brittle and marginalized skin? Because I know that the bullet does not care which side of the ocean I am from. It will swim through my body all the same. It will try to make a home of me until my name is but a salted exit wound. But I know that my tongue is still patiently awaiting for my return. Yet I still wonder if I will still feel like a stranger in my own house, which is to say, I just hope to one day grow up to become a language that is always worth coming home to.
And a little bit more. They don't know how you like it. I'ma need a whole night and a little bit more.
I hope you are having a good time. This is an amazing show, which is to say that this assortment of poets is rarely together like this, especially for a show that is free to the public. Again, thank you to the Kennedy Center for making this possible for us. And speaking of the Kennedy Center and making things possible for us, Pages was there at the beginning. 5 years ago, we started doing this program at Split This Rock. It started in Chicago. It's called Louder Than a Bomb. So Split This Rock has after-school creative writing programs in about 25 schools throughout the area. And every year in May or April, depending on how the calendar falls, we get together and we compete against all of those teams in a 3-week-long festival that includes writing workshops, competitions, and then a final presentation where the top 4 teams compete for the best team in the D.C. metropolitan area. And this year, we are proud to announce that that final competition will be right here on the Millennium stage, and we just want to thank the Kennedy Center for that opportunity. For more information about that, guess where you can go? SplitThisRock.org. Follow us on all the YouTubes and the Facebooks and the interwebs. Coming up next to the stage, we have 4 more performers. I want to make sure that everybody gets on the stage, so I'm going to stop announcing things. This next young man is an amazing poet and famous for having the voice on the team that's deeper than mine. Please put your hands together for Ushindi.
Peace and blessings, family. Like Baba Joseph told you, my name is Ushindi Sekou, a.k.a. Baba Herb, a.k.a. Renegade the Sensei. And this next piece that I'm about to deliver and share with you all, it came about from last year, me and DJ Plotz, who is right over here, performed at an event where an unsuspecting human, who, from my perspective, I did not expect him to have this knowledge, but we actually connected on the injustices in the juvenile detention system and making prisons within prisons, holding young brothers and young sisters in jail cells for 23 hours a day and no type of exercise and whatnot. And when I realized that I could connect with somebody from an older generation on something I was passionate about, I was like, yo, I have to make this poem. So if it's cool if I share this with y'all, say word. Word. If it's cool with y'all, say one love. Well, I bet. And shout out to Pages, because he taught me everything I know. My skin, it's brown, like the ground that so many of my brothers and sisters prematurely call home. A home where the police juggle lives in this game called race. Other people tell me that I'm black and what my blackness means, as if both of our family trees didn't grow from the same root. This truth is hidden in the way that I supposedly prey on the privileged. Pious and privileged citizens label me wicked when they heard I would emerge from the womb. My country told me that my thoughts were evil and soulless. They said to me, Allende, your thoughts are godless, that I can only be the villain and the victim. But I know deep down that I can only be saved by the Savior submerged in this sanctuary. This black body is the temple. But my country doesn't see me as holy. They say that I'm a super predator. They would rather put holes in me with bullets born from rifles. The same people that are supposed to protect my life are trained to take my life, and they play with my life in this game we call race. Any brother with style similar to mine is labeled a super predator. They say we don't deserve to be citizen, we need more discipline. So they ship us off to prisons where guards will play with your manhood in this game called race. Every time I speak, I can see that I invoke the fear of my melaninated seed, so they use their black against me. Say that my black is too beastly for the world to see. Say that my black is a reason to steal my future. But bigots betray their own beliefs because they're born out of fear. Afraid of apology, afraid of reparations, afraid of the shame that drains happiness. Privilege cannot teach you how to embrace karma. So go ahead, America. Call me a super predator if you want to. I just won't pick up the call because I don't respond to the enemy. There's an army rising up to break every single chain of slavery slithering in this country's bloodline, and I won't stop. I won't stop. I won't stop until you call me what my mother does. Allende, say coup. Not no super predator. Peace and blessings.
There's a fine line between love and hate, you see. Came way too late, but baby, I'm on it.
Real talk though, with that voice, I call you whatever you tell me to call you. So we have 3 more performers. We have 12 minutes, and all these young people are going to get on this stage. So I'm just going to start saying names. They're not going to do any more introductions. I want to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to perform. Right now, put your hands together for the next poet, Alexa!
Waiting, ode to an almost first kiss. He was one of the only black boys in school. Older, an athlete. I, 17, unkissed and waiting. On the beach, and now a better time than ever to learn what my friends had been telling me about for years. We watched waves spill onto the sand drink its clumsy offering, my wanting making a mouth out of everything, even the moon laughed at us, 2 kids whose skin mimic its sky. He fumbled with the moment, heavy enough to make a tide, and then broke as he told me he preferred the light shore of my friend's skin instead. I waited there as my disappointment was swallowed by ocean. He was not the first or only boy to leave me buoyed. The one before him was anonymous Valentine, and with no lighthouse to guide me, I spent my freshman year guessing his name. The one after him was a dark corner at a party. He touched me on purpose, but then walked by me in hallways without saying a word, I unable to look at him without tasting salt. For a black girl in my town, you learned the worth of your body by the number of boys that wanted you but then didn't ask you out. Your color clandestine, unworthy of public sparkle, the kind that dances on the surface of the sound. For a black girl in my town, you dance on your own. Shame your body for wanting anyone to touch you, validate you, your dignity and humanity, colliding horizons, creating sharp reflections of yourself. All I ever wanted was to look in the mirror and be soft. Even glass thrown into the sea takes 30 years to be beautiful, but for me, waiting to be wanted, no more righteous than giving up all my edges to undeserving hands with this boy. I was happy just to have hands that looked like my own. Maybe then his more willing to hold on, though still, and like always, the ocean releases, and I wonder what moon these boys were slaves to that they kept spitting me out. What shattered images of themselves did they see as its light burned their surface, and how bright that it blinded them as I disappeared inside my own dark, too black to shine, too black to move a body, pull it in close. I learned black girls don't have the gravity to overwhelm a heart, even if the boy's skin too is a tarred sky. Forgetting me makes him feel mighty, an ocean, and I drown without ever touching him.
Just to be clear, Alexa is one of our amazing teaching artists. She is not in the Ushindi performance tribe. I just wanted everyone to know because she looks so young. But yeah, we have 6 amazing teaching artists that are out in our community doing really, really good work, and I just wanted to shout them out real quick. Coming up next to the stage, we got 2 more poets to touch the stage. Please put your hands together for Rodney Johnson!
Black like the one like that, and better. Always happy, then she's been through a lot.
Sorry, that's my song, y'all. Y'all can find that on SoundCloud if y'all want. Hey, okay. What's up? So my name's Rodney, also known as One Great Bastard. I'm a junior and a bastard. I know it's a irony thing. I'm gonna spit this poem for you all, and I hope you all enjoy it. I'm doing my pages right now. When people first meet me, the first thing they ask me is, "Boy, you must play basketball, right?" As if my double helix came with the Spalding endorsement. You know, the phrase is more dagger than compliment. As if my confidence could ever be determined by my stature. They say that the tallest weed in the garden is bound to get plucked, y'all, and I stand out in groups like a thumb sore. I'm supposed to score more because I'm closer to the rim than most people, but I'd rather pass knowledge than pass a ball. Aim at the stereotypes of my race before aiming at a rim. Dribble metaphors and similes on my tongue the way they do on the blacktop. They say that 6'2" brown boys have a knack for handling the rock. Well, those compliments have never crossed over to education. I've never appeared serious in studying for my bachelor's or even my master's. Say that 6'2" brown boys have a knack for running and shooting. I'm either playing on the court or appearing before it. Now, sir, I bet you think that all black boys are like sheep, herded just to entertain the masses. Every inch of our blackness exploited by some organization or corporation. Sir, your height is shorter than my fuse. I can't tell you how many times I've had to defend my height from your full court assumptions. Now, I'm sorry that you were given the short end of the stick. Truly, I am. But when it comes to my height and your sports dreams, the two are completely unrelated. Thank you.
Young bastard here to sing a lot. Trying to elevate from what I sing. I know too many woes who ain't
It's hard out there. Sometimes. It's actually pretty cool for everything else. All right. I think I'm going to bring the DJ up because what y'all don't know is that our amazing DJ is also an amazing poet. What? Surprise! He has multiple talents. Coming up to the stage now, also a member of the Ushindi Performance Group, also a teaching artist with Split This Rock. Please put your hands together for Kosi Manla Dunn.
I flipped 16 bars into 8 balls. It's only half of the math, half of the fact. Fact of the matter is flow fire to most matter than ash. I do hate to ask, but tell me, who go harder than that? Hard as a harvest by the hungry. I heard a bull's charge in the glass and still it's intact. Of the strength of these raps, I rip, I spit, hoping if honest enough, maybe the sky might split. I spit, hoping if honest enough, maybe the sky might split. See, I came to hip hop like most middle class black boys, black holes in suburbia. Lupe Fiasco, of course, what were you expecting most? Fife, the Black Album. One, I was a child. Two, Shade of Gray. Two, Silver Spoon Stuck in Mouth. Now, don't get me wrong, times weren't easy, but they were better off than most. So let's just say I learned to identify with Coast, with Kick Push, and Daydreams, and wooden skateboards. You know, brown things like me fashioned into the idea of white privilege. I started off in the Shy. Common, Kanye, but definitely double back to Brooklyn, to Bed-Stuy, Refugees to Jay Dilla, 3 Stacks, Tupac, Postmortem, my headphones, a cross-country crash course on Hungry, bass beats for breakfast, steel bars for supper, a space-time explication of disillusion meets disenfranchised crowd in the 4 corners of my room. So yeah, I tried to rap. Came off more masquerade than Master P, or masterpiece. Me in struggle, it seems, stuck on 2 opposing sides of the glass, so I begun to craft fact. Steal hooks from Biggie just to sound a little more black. Me, trying to sound black enough. A mosaic mixtape of a minstrel show. Tap dancing on the blood blacks bled to break these beats in before I got here. Dear hip-hop, if you do indeed hang dead like I've been told, let it not be by tree but by cross. By sidewalk, chalk outline what is or isn't broke or black or broken enough to believe in you. Let me be Pharisee, playing dice with your flesh-ridden robe as if it's the only life left in you. Hip-hop, I've been to your funeral so often I know the eulogy by heart. For so long, believed how I grew up begot my silence. Most days I don't believe you were made for me. Little black boys unbaptized by Glocks. Lyrical prodigies turn prodigal sons, but most days I'll bump you regardless. Like I'd rather be in this booth than on my block. Like I can rap the ground and reawaken all I've lost. Like I've got the audacity to say I've lost anything at all. Like sometimes I don't feel so far removed from the music that so far moves me, but some days you don't move. Sometimes you could be just words, but every day word up, word to God, a creation story in free fall, in free verse, all too aware of its own gravity. Hip-hop every day, if honest enough, you are I, a more timetable than dividing line, multiplying breath to feed the multitudes. You are crack on both sides of the sidewalk, a crook stuck in the corner of my mouth, not afraid to speak up and split the sky wide open.
That was Coasty Dunn, everybody. So what we're going to do here, because it's time for us to wrap up, I'm going to do a poem for you real quick, if that's okay. Can I do a poem for y'all? Yeah? All right. And then we got a young artist who's visiting us, a former member of the DCU Slam team, who's going to close us out with a quick song. But I would like to dedicate this poem to my son and to the names of the people on this shirt, the names of the people who could not fit on this shirt, and our continual fight for justice. And this poem is called Hands. Today, I am doused in guilt, and I don't know what to do with these hands. Facebook and Twitter have informed me that my friends have joined together in digital solidarity to fight for our rights or your memory, or so this never happens again. Photos from the front line of our most righteous of selves, inspirational memes and hashtags. I realize this has happened before. I wonder if I listen to the recordings of your murder, will I feel anything different? To me, your life and death is no more than a Facebook update, a trending topic on Twitter, hashtag. I hope somebody is praying for your mother. Hashtag, insert your child's name here. Hashtag, all black bodies look alike until they're murdered. I am overwhelmed by the irrational rantings of a society too busy arguing about whether or not black lives are important enough to fight for, to actually fight for black lives. But as I stand here ranting, I realize it's because I don't know what to do with these hands that must hold and protect my son. They are not bulletproof. They are made of the same brown material that have seen so many murdered. But before I bow at the altar of suburban flight, I realize that somewhere somebody is still crying for you, that somewhere a black mother is gathering all the suspicious clothing her children own, dressing the scarecrow in the front yard, and burning our post-racial society in effigy, that somewhere a black female is being followed in a Macy's on suspicion of being black, that somewhere, hands up, please don't shoot, that somewhere, why did you shoot me? You told me to get my ID, that somewhere, please don't shoot, it's only a, that somewhere, I'm sorry my music is too loud for you to hear my humanity, that somewhere, I still can't breathe, that somewhere, they are toasting the man who did this to you, and the clans are gathering, only this time they won't be wearing hoods, they'll be dressed in suits, cloaked by law, charged with progressing the doctrine that if you do not look like you belong here, you can be murdered. That if you look like you belong here, you can be murdered. I will not always be able to protect my son. I pray that by then, black children and fear, black women and violence, black queer and assault, black trans and endangered, black male and thug, black bodies and deceased are no longer synonyms. At night, when I take my 3-year-old son's clothes off, I say, hands up, Henry. He thinks we are playing a game. I pray that when his time comes, he will know what to do with his hands. Thank you, Kennedy Center. On behalf of Split This Rock, we had a wonderful time here. If you want to know more about us, check us out at splitthisrock.org. And for your last performer, we're going to throw a little hip-hop on the stage. Please put your hands together all the way from where you go to college. At UNBS, that's a lot of syllables. University of Maryland Eastern Shore. Former member of the TCU Slam team. We call him Gemini.
How y'all doing? I just want to remind y'all we went from Lauryn Hill to Lil Uzi. That's all I'm saying. Right, I just want to remind y'all we went from Lauryn Hill to Lil Uzi. That's all I'm gonna say. Right. So here's like my, this is like my how I mix them both up. It's Gemini, GEMINYEDC _ on Twitter. What you doing? Making plans. What they doing? Looking at you. People heads is gas, but they ain't famous neither. That's cool. So I'ma smoke sativa with Selena in the bathroom. She got butt and tattoos. Her last Dubai and gas too. What you doing? Making plans. What they doing? Looking at you. Waiting for your failure, but you prevail as they stab you. These crabs in the barrel, also rats in the lab too. They hype your head and gas you. I peep that jump, but laugh fool. Yeah, I'm all about peace. That's why I got a piece. So if you mess with me, my youngest can act like Italians capiche. They be like fool while you wildin' on beats, cause they still see me young as a child in the streets. Man, I ain't been a child since they counted on me. The world on my shoulders and piling to keep. They say slow it down, dumb up to come up to run up to sum up to go make a wonder. Start rapping like lightning and just use the thunder. That bass that you chasing does not feel 100. How bad do you want it? Your turn to jump in or crawling or something. I know you got gumption. All I know is if you don't take a shot, I'ma take a spot. I'm already ahead, but a vacant lot is the making of a monopoly. I'm anomaly, got the cadence up. Never commonly, maybe common but I'm taking the honesty and making the part of the way we cranking up. I spit it sonically Deuteronomy with the pages of God sent. But I made my choices. I'm still hearing voices and tearing their corpses. Correlate with the children of the corner. We mourning cause no one think we important. We gotta trick them like we on the corner. Like my story Spike Lee, but say that it's Warner. Rap like a dummy, your user corner. It's gonna take longer to surpass Madonna's with songs. I sponsor the tickle. The monsters that monitor all us. Call us improper. Don't think like them, man. They call you a doctor. My screws is not loose, but yours missing some copper. Frankenstein father, the popper, the start, the departure. Everything you know and lost her. Never soccer, you can't kick it or pop when we stop. Because my lyrics Obama. What you doing? Making plans, what they doing? Looking at you. Waiting for your failure, but you prevail as they stab you. These crabs in the barrel, also rats in the lab too. They hype your head and gas you. I peep that shit, but laugh fool. Whew. I peep that shit, but laugh fool. I peep that shit. These rappers perpetually perpetrating for perks, man, the problem that I'm having to perpetrating it works, man. I try to keep it 100, but honestly, I'm the first in the public. Don't care that they favorite rappers some dirt, man. She better can spit a verse, or he better can hit a hearse. Woo! But I'm remixing, switching. Gemini, the twins, I gotta get rhythmic. They say, yeah, I'm talking about this is the pivot. Whew. And I messed up the flow, cause I just forgot it. But Gemini, the twins, I'm spitting all off topic. This is just me and I'm going this route, and I'm caught like a rocket. I know that I pop it. Gemini, and you know that you can stop it. I'm on beat, but I'm fast in the sound. So right now you will hit me perfectly on my crown. Rap on some geek shit, rap on some geek shit. My soul kinda tender, man, I feel like I'm a Keisha. We spend all of our time, including weekends, watching them on TV, even though they people frequently deny us equally. But we can be life if we see that we only need to try, and that peacefully will only work after deviancy. Man, I spit like machinery. I got bars, but you got subpoenas. We not the same. You ain't even in the league with me. That's your girl. I wouldn't even let her breathe on me, let alone breathe with me or teeth with me. I'm a jerk, but she still wanna be with me. But a nice guy, Gemini can equally balance the malice and hope for the holy. Preach for the masses and aim for the rollies. I looked in your eyes and the lies that you told me, but people fuck with me. They see that I'm growing. You been here for 10 years, and how is it showing? Youngin', how is it showing? That's just me, Gemini.
Thank you all. Have a wonderful night. We appreciate you coming out. And kind of all the young people that came out here tonight, stand up. Can we give them a round of applause, please? Thank you so very much. We are Split This Rock.